the chosen ones, a message imbued with the raw power of divine protection and unfaltering justice. This is for you, the one who stands in the glow of a destiny that defies the dark schemes of those who would see you defeated. Do you truly grasp the overwhelming force that shields your life? Every calculated move against you, every pit they dig, and every stone they roll in the shadows is but a setup for their own spectacular downfall. If this message resonates with your spirit, drop 999 in the comments as a declaration that you trust in God's timing and His unmatched justice. Have you ever paused in the midst of battle to wonder why the odds, stacked high against you with wealth, influence, and power, never seem to break your spirit? Is it chance or fate? No, it is the powerful, invisible shield bestowed upon you by a divine calling that no enemy can ever overcome. When your adversaries plot in the darkest corners, scheming to dismantle your joy and crush your hope, they unknowingly set the stage for their own ruin. Can you imagine the irony when the very traps they set burst forth with a force they cannot contain? Each stone they roll is turned against them by a force greater than any earthly weapon, a divine intervention that reclaims what was meant for destruction and transforms it into the very evidence of God's glory and righteousness. Have you ever seen the might of a plan that was meant to enslave, only to be appended by a power that cannot be defeated? And when you stand calmly in the eye of their storm, do you realize that your calm is not weakness, but the unmistakable signal of a victory that is already won on higher ground? Your enemies see you as vulnerable because they measure strength by the fleeting standards of money, muscle, and manipulation. But what they fail to see is that no human force, no matter how relentless or well-funded, can override the eternal decree of the Almighty. Remember the story of Pharaoh? He clung to his empire with arrogance, convinced that wealth, armies, and dominion could defy the liberating command of God. And yet, with every plague that fell upon Egypt, Pharaoh's power crumbled under divine authority. Can you feel the fire of truth blazing within you, reminding you that you are not merely surviving against the odds, but thriving under the shelter of a power that no mortal can challenge? Have you ever questioned why, in the face of overwhelming opposition, you continue to stand firm? Is it merely good fortune, or is it because the call of the divine has wrapped you in an impervious mantle? Every hardship you encounter, every blow meant to weaken your resolve, is simply the precursor to a great unveiling of divine strength. When your enemies mistakenly perceive your silence as surrender, their confidence swells while they march unknowingly into the jaws of their own self-destruction. Have you seen how quickly a mighty fortress can collapse when its foundations are built on arrogance and deceit? For while they see a target in you, they are actually challenging the one whose hand is mighty enough to turn every weapon against its master. Consider this. Have you ever wondered why every scheme, every calculated attempt to tear you down, instead sets the stage for an even greater triumph? Like a boomerang thrown with reckless force, what they send out in malice returns amplified, striking at the very core of their pretensions. It is not simply karma, but divine justice at work, precise and deliberate, as in the timeless story of Joseph, whose betrayal and suffering paved the way for a rise that defied every conspiratorial plot. So too are you positioned to turn every malicious act against your aggressors. Are you not amazed that every trial in your life serves as evidence of a plan that is higher and far more potent than the transient powers of this world? And what of those who dare to challenge you? The very ones who believe their worldly strength renders you vulnerable? Reflect on the countless moments when enemies, armed with superficial power, attempted to disrupt your path. Have you not noticed that the very silence you maintain, interpreted by some as weakness, is in fact a reservoir of divine wisdom, that quiet strength which says, "I do not need to strike back, for my protector already fights for me." When you choose not to raise arms or to unleash your fury, you are, in truth, allowing God to orchestrate a justice so swift and profound that it leaves your foes dumbfounded. Does it not bring you solace to know that when the forces aligned against you are recorded by heaven and every treacherous act is met with an unstoppable counterforce, your destiny remains secure and your legacy untarnished? Have you witnessed the cascade of events when pride blinds the enemy? Their inflated egos, built on illusion and hubris, have a way of leading them straight into their own downfall. For every boast of unassailable might, there's a moment when the divine hand intervenes, turning their schemes into nothingness and exposing the frailty beneath their arrogance. Does it not astonish you that while they rage against the inevitable, their own strength crumbles, leaving them exposed and broken? Their downfall is not a sign of your triumph in battle. It is a clear and glorious demonstration of the power vested in you by the Creator, who shields you from every weapon forged against you. When you look back upon every trial, every attack aimed at your very soul, do you see how they have paradoxically become the stepping stones of your ascent? Every plot, every pit dug by those blinded by envy, has only served to magnify the light of your purpose. The very tactics intended to hinder you have only accelerated the divine plan that enshrines your destiny. Have you felt the thrill of witnessing an enemy's carefully laid trap turn upon its master? Isn't it a testament to the unstoppable force that protects you, ensuring that every act of treachery is repaid in full by a justice that is both inevitable and absolute? Now, imagine a world where every malicious intent, every cold calculation of betrayal, is met with a response so powerful it leaves no room for doubt. Have you ever felt that surge of righteous energy when your enemy's arrogance transforms into their undoing? Their downfall, marked by shattered reputations and public disgrace, echoes a fundamental truth. No scheme, no matter how brilliant it may seem, can defy the ultimate authority that governs all destinies. Does that not stir something deep within you? A feeling of awe, a reaffirmation of your chosen status, and an unshakable confidence that every attack against you is futile? In a realm where divine justice is not only a concept, but a living, breathing force, have you ever marveled at the resilience that allows you to rise time and time again? While those who plot against you may try to drag you into their cesspool of bitterness and regret, their miscalculations only serve to underscore your purpose. It is as if every plan they devise, every trap they set, is meticulously repurposed by a power that never sleeps, a power that ensures your life is an ever-brightening testimony to truth and strength. When enemies see your continued endurance, do they not question the source of your unbreakable spirit? What secret do you hold that makes you impervious to their relentless onslaught? Every moment of adversity you have faced, every calculated effort to silence your light, has brought you here to a place where your divine legacy is unmistakable. Can you feel the stirring of a revolution within your heart? A revolution that calls you to stand tall and challenge every falsehood that has ever sought to claim you as a victim? For the moment you open your eyes to the reality that you're protected by a might far superior to any earthly weapon, the scales of destiny tip in your favor. Do you see how every attempt to dismantle you ultimately paves the way for a victory that is not your own, but one that has been crafted by the very hand of God? When you find yourself in the midst of despair, silenced by the noise of those who mock your very existence, ask yourself, can their malice truly compare to the promise that envelopes you? Their efforts to bind you with chains of deceit are futile when measured against the divine force that strides alongside you every single day. Have you ever noticed how quickly the tables turn when arrogance meets divine retribution? Their schemes crumble, their power evaporates, and every reckless act of defiance lays bare the truth that no enemy can ultimately succeed when faced with such relentless protection. Is it not extraordinary to know that every word of slander, every carefully spun web of lies, returns to its weaver, amplified by the sheer force of righteousness? Let this message wash over you like a tidal wave of courage. You are chosen, you are protected, and you stand on the threshold of a transformative revolution. Your story is not one of mere survival. It is a declaration of triumph, a powerful testament to a destiny preordained by the most supreme of authorities. Every battle you have faced, every wound inflicted by the bitter tongues of the wicked, has only served to forge an unbreakable spirit within you. Have you come to see that your journey, marked by relentless trials and the quiet strength of unwavering faith, is precisely the path laid out to herald a new era of justice and truth? Now, as you stand with the weight of destiny upon your shoulders, ask yourself, what will you do with this unassailable truth? Will you let the world's tyranny of deceit and oppression drown out your inner fire? Or will you rise up with a roar that defies all darkness? The choice is yours, and it is as clear as the celestial light that guides you. It is time to cast aside all doubts and embrace the undeniable reality that every hardship, every moment of silence, is part of a masterful plan to elevate you to heights no enemy can ever touch. Have you ever felt the stirring of revolution in your soul? A daring call to action that compels you to stand tall and proclaim your faith in the divine timing that orchestrates your life. Think about it. When every trap set by those who envy you collapses in on itself, when every attack is turned into a stepping stone for your evolution, how can you not smile in defiance? How can you not take up the mantle of a warrior, one whose battles are not waged with the crude weapons of mere mortals, but with the elegance of divine purpose and the unyielding protection of a higher power? In the silence of your perseverance, there is a question that echoes in the hearts of the misguided. How can they stand so strong, protected by a force that renders their worst schemes utterly futile? And the answer, resounding and clear, is found in the very fiber of your being, that you are chosen, anointed, and irrevocably guarded by a justice so impeccable that not even the harshest words or boldest deceptions can shatter it. Let every breath you take serve as a reminder that your journey is not dictated by human limitations, but by the timeless promise of divine intervention. When the world's instruments of oppression try to break your spirit, do they realize that their very actions only fortify your purpose? As you march forward into a destiny laced with both trials and resounding triumphs, do you feel the strength of every victory that has been silently won on your behalf? This is not a call to arms of violence, but a call to awaken the inner revolutionary, the one who rejects mediocrity and stands unyielding in the face of towering injustice. Look into your heart and ask, can the forces of deception ever truly conquer when the spirit of divine justice courses through your veins? Every setback, every merciless attempt to tarnish your light has transformed into a clear testimony of resilience. And while the false might of those who oppose you crumbles into dust, you remain a living testament to the enduring, unassailable power of God's protection. Is it not time to rise and voice this truth to a world that desperately needs to hear it? To declare loudly that no shadow of treachery, no matter how cunningly devised, can ever stand against the unbreakable bond you share with a force that is eternal and all-powerful? This is your moment, a revolutionary time where every challenge met and every scheme thwarted becomes a luminous beacon in a darkened world. Embrace this calling with the full force of your heart. Let your words, your actions, and your unwavering stance be the spark that ignites a movement where every believer stands shoulder to shoulder, joined by the understanding that the same divine protection that shields you is available to all who dare to trust in the higher purpose. Do you feel the compelling desire to share this truth? Then let your engagement be known. Let the words fly in a chorus of defiance and hope. If this resonates with your spirit, drop 999 in the comments as a declaration that you believe in the relentless timing of our Lord and His unmatched justice. Ask yourself now, in a world where deceit and arrogance seem rampant, will you stand as the beacon of transformation? Will you be the one to remind every soul that has ever doubted that the power of change is not only real, it is unstoppable? As you read these words, let your heart be stirred by the realization that every moment of silence, every trial, and every overwhelming challenge are the very instruments of your evolution. Have you ever noticed how the very force that was meant to break you instead lifts you higher, forging a legacy that shines beyond mortal comprehension? There is a divine poetry woven into the tapestry of your existence, each thread a testament to a struggle transformed into triumph, each challenge a stepping stone toward an ever brighter destiny. Let this be a revolutionary call to action. Rise up, let your voice be heard, and walk boldly in the knowledge that while the schemes of the wicked may be many, they are nothing compared to the strength that flows from the divine. In the face of opposition, your courage speaks volumes. Every act of defiance is a declaration that no weapon formed against you will ever prosper. Can you feel the power surging within you? That sacred fire is the very essence of a life destined not for defeat, but for an eternal victory that echoes through the corridors of time. So, chosen one, stand firm and let your legacy be written in the ink of unwavering faith and relentless purpose. Let every challenge become a chapter in your story of redemption, a story that proves time and again that with God on your side, no foe can ever stand against the unstoppable momentum of divine justice. Each step you take, every word you speak, is an anthem of rebellion against the forces of falsehood that seek to erode your light. Embrace your destiny as a warrior of truth, and let every attack against you be transformed into a testament of strength and honor. Now, let these words sink deep into your soul and inspire you to act. Share this message, spread this revolutionary fire, and remind the world that the day of reckoning belongs not to those who plot and scheme, but to those who are chosen, protected, and empowered by a justice that is as inevitable as the rising sun. The enemy's plans may crumble and their power may fade, but your truth remains eternal, a legacy of divine protection and unyielding faith. Together, let us challenge the illusions of human might and stand united in the certainty that every plan against you is merely a stepping stone toward a destiny that no force on earth can thwart. This is your time. This is your revolution. Embrace the power within you. Let your life be the story that shatters every falsehood, and let the echo of your triumph be heard far and wide. Step forward, chosen one, and claim your destiny. The divine is with you always, and no earthly force can ever dim the brilliant light of a spirit destined to transform the world with love, resilience, and unwavering justice.